Well, let me tell you this. Many a times we go through a lot. We experience a lot of attacks in our lives, especially when we are climbing the ladder of success to the apex. We meet a lot of people from all walks of life. But all these attacks on us, one thing that I can assure you of is that any entity that endeavors to instigate a contrarian trajectory shall remain ipso facto perpetually vanquished. Their malevolent machinization irreparably vitiated. Everybody or anybody that rises against you in life shall forever remain defeated. No matter whom the person is, the kind of a person or the links that he or she has in life. Let me tell you, when the goat mistakenly challenges the leopard to fight, be reminded that the goat will soon understand the meaning of regret. You and I, we are the sons and daughters of the Lion of Judah. And nobody goes into the jungle and defeats the lion just like that. Any entity or any animal that stands the face of a lion will not take it easily. So anybody who stands on your way in life will not take it easily in life. That person has a lot to deal with, because that person cannot prevail over you with mere words. All those who have risen their voice against you, those who are attacking you with their actions, those who want to bring you down, those who want to cripple you in life, let me tell you, any entity that endeavors to instigate a contrarian trajectory shall ipso facto remain perpetually vanquished. There's nobody. You see, humans are like a flower. Anytime that you see a new flower sprouted, you see bees from all walks of life attacking the new sprouted flower, just because the bees want to suck the nectar, that succulent liquid object in that flower. The bees want to lick it up. The same thing also implies to humans. Anytime that you see yourself progressing, anytime that you add a value to your life, this is where you see people that you have not even met in life, that you can't even, you have not even talked to personally. You see all these people attacking you from left, right, center. So sometimes, because of their actions towards you, their attitude towards you, the kind of words that people use in describing you, it kills your spirit. It brings you down in life. But let me tell you that any entity that rises against you in life shall be arrested by the divine spirit, shall be negated by divine authority. Nobody can bring you down. They did a lot of things against the life of Jesus because people knew that Jesus was doing tremendously and miraculous things. Jesus was performing signs and wonders. It was the colleague of Jesus in the same ministry, in the same field, that rose against him. The bishops and the high priests, as are there, they were the very people who connived and stood against Jesus. There was one man called Alexander, the sorcerer, during the times of Paul. He did a lot of things to Paul. He blasphemed the name of God. He said a lot of things to tarnish the reputation of Paul. So in the Bible, Paul says that Alexandra did a lot of things to him. A lot of dirty stuffs, a lot of evil stuffs. Alexander did all these things to him. But in spite of all this, he withstood against Alexander and fought him and prevailed over him. I've never seen a man with a true spirit of God who had ever been defeated before. No matter whom you are, remind yourself that you go through problems. You experience a lot of challenges in your life. That makes you a human. That makes you whom you are. Any tree that stands tall and gallant and boast of itself that it has never fallen in life before, it's probably because that very tree had never experienced storms. There had not been any strong wind that has ever blew at this tree that claims to be a stand tall. There had never been any strong wind that has ever blew against this very tree that claims to be a stand tall in life. So falling is part of human life. Failing is part of human life. But the very important thing in here is that when you fall in life, you must make sure that you rise back onto your feet. When you fail, you give it another try. You try until you become successful in whatever that you are doing. All those enemies that have conspired against you in life, in your workplace, in your family, in your vicinity, all these people shall forever remain defeated. Why? Because we know the God that we are serving. We know that God can never be easily defeated. When you read the stories about the Israelite, you could see clearly that there had never been any scene or any recorded fact in the Bible where the Israelite went to war and was defeated when God was with them. Anytime that you see the Israelite conceiving a defeat was when the Spirit of God had left them. But I can assure you this day that the Spirit of God is with you. So you remain undefeated. No evil spirit, no beast, no demon, no principality, whoever that it may be, can raise his or her voice against you and become successful. See the voices that has risen against you in life. All these voices, assume it's like a storm in your life. And no matter the boisterous moment that you go through, in the latter part of it, it will remain calm. When Peter and the other apostles, with the inclusion of Jesus, were on the boat, on the sea, when it began storming, they were all shivering. They were all downhearted. They were all heartbroken. They thought the storms of the sea had prevailed over them. But when Jesus rose from his sleep, he stretched forth his hands like that. And the storm remained calm. The sea remained calm. It's as if it was never the sea that was blowing that storm. It's as if nothing has happened on the sea. Such is going to be your life. Anything that is fighting you in life, I am telling you that that particular thing will never prevail. All those who have taken to themselves politically to bring you down, all these malevolent machinization, irreparably vitiated, all these evil and satanic agenda behind the scenes working eagerly to bring you down shall never come into fruition. I am telling you, nobody can bring you down. Any entity, I repeat myself, any entity that endeavors to instigate a contrarian trajectory against you shall ipso facto remain perpetually vanquished. No evil agenda of the enemy, no evil agenda of your enemy shall get closer to you. No matter the weapons that will be shot at you, the weapon of poverty, the weapon of fear, the weapon of disgrace, the weapon of backbiting, the weapon of setbacks, all these things, I know the devil will shoot any of these arrows against you, will shoot any of these arrows at you. But I can assure you that none of these arrows can get closer to you and harm you in life. Every entity that raises against you, that rises against you shall remain defeated forever, irrespective of the person, whoever that it is, being it a beast, a necromancer, a sorcerer, a witch, a wizard, whoever, a zangoma, anybody that has availed himself for the devil to be used as a tool against your life shall remain defeated. The Lord shall scatter any satanic meeting against you, any meeting that has been held in the realms of the spirit against you personally. The Lord shall scatter them into pieces. None of their evil agenda shall get closer to you. Nobody can bring you down. Nobody can bring you down. It's part of life. Any voice that has risen against you, just leave them. Let them talk. Go on your knees in prayers and begin to pray and see yourself winning against those people. Any court case, any court sermons leveled against you, I am telling you that you go into the courtroom and emerge victorious and come back because the Spirit of God is with you. Let me tell you, sometimes we worry ourselves a lot. We worry ourselves a lot because we don't know much about life and we have not necessarily experienced a lot in life. So when we encounter some of these things, we worry ourselves. We become bothered with the evil sayings and pronouncement of people. But I can assure you that all these things are part of life. They did same to Paul. They did same to Peter. They did same to Jesus. They did same to great and prominent people who have ever visited this earth and left. They did same to those great men. But in the end, what happened? They prevail. Why? Because no voice, no voice, no voice, no voice in the realms of the spirit can be risen against you. You see, when you read Job chapter 1, verse 6, and Job chapter 2, when the devil flew to heaven and lodged a formal complaint against Job and pleaded for the destruction of Job, when God mandated the devil to come here on earth and then cause a destruction, a heinous crime against Job, Bible says that the devil thought he had prevailed. But in the later on, Bible says that everything that Job lost, he was restored with a restitution. God tripled and doubled whatever that Job had lost. The same thing. Whatever that you have lost, if you have lost a business opportunity, if another door closes, another door shall be opened unto your life. And such is life. If you have lost something very vital in your life, I am assuring you that another opportunity shall be granted unto you. The Lord will never leave you on the desert for you to suffer over there. God will come in. As a matter of fact, when God sent Moses to the land of the Egyptians to bring his people, at some part of their life, they were going through a lot. The vicissitudes of life and all the boisterous movement that these people went through, they thought they had been left behind. They thought the Spirit of God has rejected them. Until when God began to show his mightier works, when God began to perform miracles, at a point God caused heavens to rain manna for these people. At a point, God was able to divide the Red Sea, and such had never been happening in the history of creation. No demon, no evil spirit, no Luciferian had been able to perform such miracles before. But when God stepped in, he was able to shook the shoulders of these Israelites to cross the Red Sea. He made a way where there seems to be nowhere. But I can assure you that wherever that you have got into in life, that seems that all is finished. You are done in life. You want to give up in life. You want to take your own soul. You want to take your own life. I can assure you that there is a greater power above the zenith of heavens who look down upon earth and grant the wishes and the prayers of the fervent man and the prayers of the righteous people shall never be cut off. Bible says that the expectation of the righteous people here on earth shall never be cut off. And as a matter of fact, that's the reality. As a matter of fact, That's the reality. I know that the storms in life will hit you by all means. By all means, the storms of life will hit you in life. Life difficulties is part of human life. But when we find ourselves in such situation, we shouldn't give up. No matter the voice, no matter the actions shown against you in life. Still, I am telling you that for the fact that 2,000 years ago, when Jesus was knelt on the Mount of Calvary, he said something. He said, "It is finished." So all your sufferings is finished. Remind yourself that all your sufferings is finished. He took your infirmities, your troubles, your hardships, your tears, everything that you're going through was already taken by Christ and was all nailed on the cross of Calvary. So already what you're going through, what you don't know is that you had already prevailed in the realms of the spirit. It is left with just a minute for it to click through the physical realm. You are a victorious. You are a conqueror. Remain undefeated. So you see, our enemies have been already defeated. Jesus Christ, through his mightier and the redemptive power, had already defeated our enemies. Jesus Christ, with his resurrecting power, had already defeated our enemies. That is why I told you in the early beginnings of my message that any entity that endeavors to instigate a contrarian trajectory shall remain ipso facto perpetually vanquished. Their malevolent machinization irreparably vitiated. They shall remain under our feet and be defeated forever.